Everyone, welcome to Meenakshi's tutorial home. Today we will discuss about the various concepts of cost. So first we will see what cost is. So cost is a payment which is made to the factors of production which are used in the process of production of a commodity. A producer hires or uses various factors of production to produce a commodity, and when he uses or hires the factors of production to produce a commodity, he pays them, and the payments which he made for these factors of production are known as cost. So what does cost function is? Let us see. Cost function shows the functional relationship between output and the cost of production. It gives the least cost combination of inputs corresponding to different level of output. Time is a very important element in the analysis of cost, and there are two types of time or two time periods. One is short run and the other is the long run, and accordingly we have two cost. One is short run cost and the other is the long run cost. So first of all we will see what are short run cost. Short run cost are the cost over a period during which some factors are in fixed supply like plant, machinery, etc. So short run is such a period where some of the factors of production remains as fixed. Here all the factors are not variable, and therefore whatever cost or whatever payment made by the producer in the short run, these are known as short run cost. And the long run cost are the cost over a long period which is enough to permit changes in all the factors of production. So long run is such a period that permit to change the amount of all the factors of production, and the cost incurred while using all these factors of production to produce the commodity are known as the long run cost. Next we will see the various cost in the short run. So there are three costs in the short run. First is the total cost. Okay, so what does this total cost is, we will see now. So total cost or TC, we will use the abbreviation TC for total cost. It is defined as the aggregate of all cost of producing any given level of output. And TC is the sum of two costs. One is total fixed cost and the other is total variable cost. Now we will see what does two costs are: total fixed cost and the total variable cost. So first of all we will see total fixed cost. Total fixed cost or TFC is also known as the supplementary cost or the overhead cost. These costs are the sum total of expenditure incurred by the producer on the purchase or hiring of fixed factors of production. Some of the examples are overhead expenses, wages or salaries, depreciation of machineries, and the insurance amount. Now we will see how does the TFC curves look like. The TFC curve is always a straight line which is parallel to the x-axis. If we measure output on the x-axis and the cost on the y-axis, then we will get a straight line, TFC as a straight line which is parallel to the x-axis, which indicates that whatever the amount or as the level goes on increasing, the TFC never changes. TFC remains as fixed as the name itself says that it is a fixed cost. Okay, so this is the shape of the TFC curve. Next we will see the total variable cost. The total variable cost or the TVC are the payments for those factors which are in variable supply. So whatever payments made for the variable factors while hiring them for the production of a commodity are the total variable cost. So these variable costs are also called as prime cost. Some of the example are cost of direct labor, running expenses like cost of raw materials, fuel, etc. Next we will see the TVC curve. So TVC curve is an inverse S-shaped curve. You can see the diagram in the next slide. The TVC curve originates from the origin, rises at a falling rate till a certain point, and beyond that it rises at an increasing rate. And the reason behind the shape is the law of variable proportion. Okay, what is law of variable proportion? I will explain to you. When we keep some factors as fixed and some factors as variable, keeping the fixed factor as fixed, if we go on increasing the amount of variable factors, at first the total product will increase at a increasing rate. Then after a certain point it will increase at a decreasing rate. It reaches the maximum, then it starts falling. This is the law of variable proportion is. So now you can see the shape of the TVC curve. It is like an S, that is an inverse S. So what does this shows? It shows at first it originates from the origin, and at first it rises at a falling rate. Then after reaching a point it increases at a increasing rate. Okay, that's why the shape is like an inverse of S. Okay, next we will see the total cost. It is the sum of these two costs, that is total fixed cost and the total variable cost. So total cost is defined as the aggregate of all cost of producing any given level of output. It is the total expenditure incurred by a firm for obtaining factors of production required for production of a commodity. Total cost is derived by the sum total of total fixed cost and the total variable cost. The TC curve is an inverse S-shaped curve starting from the level of fixed cost. The reason behind the shape is also same as that of the reason behind the inverse S shape of TVC curve, that is the law of variable proportions. You can see the shape of TC curve from the diagram here, and the gap between this TC and TVC is TFC. Okay, because it is the sum of TFC and TVC which is the total cost. Okay, so next we will see the average cost. Okay, there are three costs. One is total cost, second one is average cost, and third one is the marginal cost. Since TC is the sum of total fixed cost and total variable cost, when we divide the equation, that is TC equal to TFC plus TVC, when we divide this equation by the level of output X, what do we get? We get TC by X, which is equal to TFC by X plus TVC by X, and TC by X gives us the AC, that is average cost. TFC by X gives us the AFC, that is average fixed cost, and TVC by X gives us the average variable cost, which is AVC. So average cost is defined as the cost of producing per unit of the commodity. The shape of the AC curve is, actually it is U-shaped. Here it is written as H shape, but it is it is typing mistake. It should be U-shaped. Okay, so the shape of the AC curve is U-shaped, and the reason behind this is the law of variable proportion. You can see the diagram here. This is the shape of the AC curve, and U-shaped one. Okay, it shows that at first the average cost falls, and after reaching a minimum point it's again start rising. That's why it gives a U-shaped. Next we will see the average fixed cost. Average fixed cost is defined as the fixed cost of producing per unit of the commodity. It is obtained by dividing total fixed cost by the level of output, that is AFC is equal to TFC divided by X. Here the X is the output. AFC curve is a rectangular hyperbola which you can see from the diagram in the next slide, which shows declining values of fixed cost per unit of output produced. When we go on increasing the level of output, AFC goes on declining. Why? Because TFC is a fixed one. But the downward sloping AFC curve can never touch either of the x-axis or the y-axis. Okay? So here you can see the rectangular hyperbola shape of the AFC curve. Next we will see the average variable cost, that is AVC. AVC or average variable cost is defined as the variable cost of producing per unit of the commodity. It is obtained by dividing total variable cost by the level of output, that is AVC is equal to TVC by X. AVC curve is U-shaped. The reason behind the U shape of AVC curve is the law of variable proportion. Here you can see the shape of the AVC curve. It is an U-shaped one. It shows that at first initially it decreases, after reaching a minimum point it starts rising. Next we will see the third cost, that is marginal cost. So marginal cost is defined as addition made to the total variable cost or total cost when one more unit of output is produced. So the word marginal means the additional. So it shows the changes in the total variable cost or in the total cost when one more unit of the commodity is produced. MC curve is derived from TVC curve and it is an U-shaped. The reason behind its shape is the law of variable proportion. So spelling it should be off. Here it is written as if, so please make the correction. The shape of the MC curve can be seen from the diagram. It is an U-shaped one, and the reason behind this U-shaped MC curve is the law of variable proportion. Next we will see the relationship between average variable cost and the marginal cost curves. Both these curves, that is AVC and MC, are derived from TVC by the formulas AVC is equal to TVC by X and MC, that is change in, or here you can use the symbol delta, delta TC by delta X. The delta means the change in, or change in TVC divided by change in X. Both AVC and MC curves are U-shaped, reflecting the law of variable proportion. The minimum point of AVC curve, that is point B, you can see from the diagram. So the minimum point of ABC will always occur to the right of the minimum point of MC curve. When AVC is falling, MC is below AVC, means when AVC falls, MC curve lies below the AVC curve, and when AVC is rising, when AVC rises, the MC curve lies above the AVC curve. And when AVC is neither falling nor rising, here the MC is equal to AVC. Okay, you can see from the diagram here. Then relationship between AC and AVC curves. AVC is a part of AC since AC is the sum of AFC and AVC. The minimum point of AC will always occur to the right of the minimum point of AVC. That is, point B will always be to the right of point A. You can see from the diagram here. So point B is always at the right of the point A. So this is the minimum point of AC, B, and minimum point of ABC is A. So point B, that is the minimum point of AC, is always to the right of the minimum point of ABC. Okay. Then both AVC and AC are U-shaped due to the law of variable proportion. I have already explained about it. The difference between AC and AVC decreases with rise in the level of output because AC included AFC, and AFC falls continuously as output level rises. Since AFC falls continuously, that's why the difference between AC and AVC goes on declining. AVC and AC can never meet each other because AFC is a rectangular hyperbola and can never cut x-axis. So you can see the relationship between this AC and AVC curves from this diagram. Next we will see the relationship between TVC and MC curves. So MC is the slope of the TVC curve at each and every point. Means the sum of MC gives us the TVC. The value of slope declines continuously, then reaches a minimum and then starts rising. Because it is an U-shaped curve, to an inverse S-shape of TVC curve which starts from the origin, MC is an U-shaped one. Then MC is the addition only to the variable cost. So addition can be made only in case of variable factors. Only variable factors can be varied or changed. The fixed factor can never be changed. That's why MC is the addition made only to the variable cost. And for the use of variable factors, we get the variable cost. So fixed cost do not affect MC. When TVC rises at a diminishing rate, MC declines. So you can see when TVC rises at a minimum rate, MC declines. Okay, and when TVC rises at an increasing rate, MC rises, and when TVC increases at an increasing rate, so MC increases. Then TVC is equal to the sum of MC, as I have already told you. So this is the diagram which shows the relationship between TVC and MC curves. Next we will see the relationship between AC and the MC curves. Both AC and MC are derived from TC by the formulas. AC, which is equal to TC divided by X, and MC is the change in TC divided by change in X, or delta TC by delta X. Both these AC and MC curves are U-shaped, which reflect the law of variable proportion. AC includes both variable cost and fixed cost. Since AC is equal to sum of AFC and AVC, but MC is addition made only to the variable cost when output is increased by one more unit. When AC is falling, then MC is below AC. So when MC is falling, so AC is below MC. You can see here. So when AC is falling, MC is below the AC curve, and when AC is rising, MC is above the AC curves. Okay, and when AC is neither falling nor rising, then MC is equal to AC. You can see at the point TC here, AC is equal to MC. And this is the minimum point of AC. AC is neither rising nor falling, it is remaining stable there. Then MC curve cuts the AC curve at its minimum point. At point C, you can see MC curve cuts AC at its minimum point at C. Okay, so from the diagram you can see the relationship between AC and MC curves. Next we will see the long run cost. We have already discussed about the long run cost. What are the long run cost? So here in the long run period, all inputs are variable. Okay, there is no fixed cost since there is no fixed factors in the long run. Here the firm's long run decisions are known as planning decisions. A firm attempts to maximize long run profits by selecting a short run scale of plant that minimize cost. In the long run, total cost and total variable cost curves coincide with each other as all inputs are variable. So there is no difference between TVC and TC here in the long run because we do not have total fixed cost. Therefore, these two curves coincide with each other. It means TC is equal to TVC in the long run because all the factors are variable in the long run. So there are two important costs in the long run, which are long run average cost and long run marginal cost. So what is long run average cost? Long run average cost shows the minimum cost per unit of producing each level of output when the capacity of the firm can be varied. Okay, then long run marginal cost, it is written as ONG, it should be long run, so please correct it. Long run marginal cost shows addition which is made to the long run total cost, like that of the short run marginal cost, which was the addition made to the short run total cost or total variable cost when output is increased by one more unit. Both long run average cost and long run marginal cost are U-shaped. The reason, it should be the, here it is written as he, the reason behind this U-shaped long run average cost curve is the law of returns to scale. And according to this law, a firm enjoys increasing returns to scale when it increases the scale of its operation. Okay, when the operation scales is increased, then the firm can enjoy the increasing return. So what does increasing return means? When we use a proportionate increase, when we increase proportionately the factors of production, we get more in the proportion output. So this is known as increasing returns to scale. And when we increase the factors of production proportionately, we get less than proportionate output, that means decreasing return or diminishing returns to scale. And when we increase proportionately the factors of production and we get proportionate increase in the output, this means the constant returns to scale. So you can see the diagram here, the long run average cost and the long run marginal cost curves. The diagram of these two curves, long run average cost curves and the long run marginal cost curves. Okay, now we will see the relationship between these two curves, that is long run average cost curves and the long run marginal cost curves. The U shape of long run average cost curve implies that long run marginal cost is also an U-shaped one. The long run marginal cost curves cuts the long run average cost curve at the latter's minimum point. Okay, so here the LMC cuts LAC at its minimum point. Okay, then when LAC is falling, LMC is below it. So you can see LAC is falling initially and LMC is below LAC curve, and when LAC is rising, LMC is above the LAC curve, and at the minimum point of LAC at point M, both LAC and LMC, that is long run marginal cost and long run average cost, are equal to each other. Okay, so thank you.